We've got updates on Dune Part 3, The Batman 2, Spider-Man, and more here on today's edition of Movie News Daily. Let's get into it. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into JC's Movies, where you can see all kind of movie and TV show talk with me, JC, especially within the comedy, superhero, and horror genres. And those are up your alley as well. Be sure you hit that subscribe button. That way we can talk some movies together, and you can get these movie news updates into your feed every Monday through Friday. Typically, I know I missed yesterday, didn't get the chance to put a Movie News Daily show out on Tuesday, but that's because I was reviewing Undertone, and I wanted to give that video a minute or two to breathe. So if you've seen Undertone and want to hear my thoughts and share some of yours, be sure to check out my Undertone spoiler review I dropped yesterday on the channel. I'd appreciate that. Just like I'd appreciate it if you take a second, hit that like button, giving the video a thumbs up, helps us hit the YouTube algorithm so it can find other movie and TV show fans like you and me. With that out of the way, let's dive into some movie news updates today. Let's lead off with some talk about Dune Part 3, one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Can't wait for this thing. I love Dune. Absolutely, fell in love with it when I went and saw Part 2. I hadn't seen Part 1 yet, watched them both in the same day, and then completely fell in love with the franchise, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to this year, surprisingly even more so than Doomsday and Spiderman, all those movies. I think Dune is ahead of those for me. The trailer dropped yesterday. I'm not going to do a trailer reaction because I'm kind of a day late on it, but I did want to share a little bit of info that we got from the director here, as he's confirmed that Dune Part 3 takes place 17 years after the events of Dune Part 2. And a little quote from him here. He says, if the first movie was more of a contemplation, like a boy exploring a new world, and the second one being a war movie, this one is more action-packed and tense. And can't wait to see this. And we got a picture there of course, Timothée Chalamet now as Paul Atreides, what he looks like now in comparison to the first two films is a world of difference, of course, but really excited for this one. Can't wait. The trailer looks phenomenal. I think it's got a chance to be the movie of the year. It's definitely going to be up there for me, but little news there on Dune 3. And then someone that's in Dune Part 3 is Robert Pattinson. And of course, we're awaiting the Batman Part 2 starring him as well. And he had a chance to talk about that. I believe this was at the premiere for the new movie these got the drama, but some really nice things he says here about the Batman 2. Culture Crave sharing this on social media, as he states it's extraordinary. He says it's going to be a really, really special movie and very, very different, even from the last one. I remember reading it and going, well, oh, wow, okay, it's going to be interesting. It's taking some big swings. Deadline sharing that initial report, and I really like the sound of that from Robert Pattinson talking the Batman Part 2. This one's much anticipated by everyone. Can't wait till we start to get, more news about this one coming out, as hopefully filming begins soon. And then while we're talking superheroes, today the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer released, and we also got the official synopsis for the upcoming MCU movie that's releasing this summer. And here is the synopsis for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Variety sharing this. 4 years have passed since the events of No Way Home, and Peter is now an adult, living entirely alone, having voluntarily erased himself from the lives and memories of those he loves. Crime fighting in a New York that no longer knows his name, he's devoted himself entirely to protecting his city, a full-time Spider-Man. But as the demands on him intensify, the pressure sparks a surprising physical evolution that threatens his existence, even as a strange new pattern of crimes gives rise to one of the more powerful threats he has ever faced. So there's your synopsis for Spider-Man Brand New Day. The trailer looks pretty good. Some impressive shots in there, especially, we've had complaints about Marvel CGI lately, but it looked pretty good in that trailer with some of the shots they had. The web swinging looked good and a lot of the other aspects of the movie. So excited for this one releasing this summer. And then a couple pieces of TV series news here, as Paradise has been renewed for a third season at Hulu. Season 2 ongoing now. Been watching it. You guys know it's one of my favorite shows of 2025. Season 1 was incredible. Season 2 has been very good as well. And we're getting a Season 3 as Variety shares this report. The news coming ahead of the Season 2 series finale, which will air on March 30th. Season 2 has surpassed 30 million hours viewed, while Season 1 added another 25 million hours since Season 2 launched. People going back watching the first season so they can watch the second season, and can't wait for Season 3 of Paradise. And then another series that I really enjoy, as a lot of other people do, is White Lotus. And we know Season 4 is upcoming, and we got some news on the cast. HBO Max sharing that Chloe Bennett, Max Greenfield, Charlie Hall, Kumail Nanjiani, and Jared Paul have joined Season 4, and some pictures of their of them for reference if you don't know them by name. I definitely remember Max Greenfield originally. First time I saw him was Schmidt in New Girl. He's been in the neighborhood, a lot of fun things since then. Of course, Kamel from Silicon Valley is where I first saw him. But it looks like a pretty good cast here to add for White Lotus season 4, another show that I'm really anticipating. And then just lastly, what I'm wrapping it up with here on Movie News Daily, a little on this day in movie history as I continue to share this both on my Instagram and on my X account. And if you would follow me there as I try and get that following up, I'd really appreciate that. There's the handle there on the screen at JC's Movies, sharing this every day there. But some movies that released on March 18th in movie history: Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves back in 97, Paul in 2011, an underrated comedy in my opinion, and of course the first movie of Ty West's X trilogy, X, releasing in 2022, for some movies that released on this day in movie history. And with that, we'll put another episode of Movie News Daily into the books. Continue to bring you guys movie news updates here on the channel every Monday through Friday. So as I said earlier, if you haven't yet, be sure you subscribe here. That way you get these movie news updates directly into your feed every weekday. Plus, we talk a ton of superhero comedy and horror on the channel. Just put out 2 horror movie reviews over the past few days with Dolly and Undertone, and we'll have plenty more coming in the future. But you've heard a bunch of my thoughts throughout the episode. Why not share some of yours, whether it's on anything that we talked about in the episode or just anything you want to talk about there, movie and TV show related for that matter? Drop it in the comment section. Always appreciate those interactions. They help me continue to grow the JC's Movies channel here on YouTube. Having said that, I appreciate you tuning into this one, and I will catch you on the next one.